live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you for joining us. I am here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and ordinarily we are live at this point every weekday. Right now, though, we're going to talk to you about, how do I explain that?
First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler, and thank you very much for joining us. We are here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and today, for these next couple of segments, we've got, well, two things for you. One, we're going to be talking about Paul's Restaurant in downtown Vancouver. Now, this is a restaurant that's been around for 50 years. New ownership has taken it over, and I think, as we all know, this has happened frequently all over the place, where some older establishments, some neighborhood cornerstones have been taken down for development or changes and those kinds of things. This is a place where they want to keep it kind of as it was, with some updates, of course, but that's what we're going to be talking about. So we went out and met with the three owners of this organization, of this restaurant, and the Elbow Room, which is attached to it, which if you've ever been to downtown Vancouver, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to be covering that, and that's our trip out to there for the first part. Secondly, we're going to be talking about the Oregon Charity Championship and Gigi's Playhouse in particular. The Oregon Charity Championship, it's taking place on September 29th and features dozens of different charitable organizations competing against each other for a grand prize. Gigi's Playhouse is one of those, so we're going to find out about the important work that they do as well. Let's get it started. Here at Paul's right now. So let me ask you this. When you come into a place like this, like when you took over,
right?
You know, what's one of the first things that you think about?
Well, we just were struck by that it's an original 70s family-style restaurant, and you can't ever build this again. And so it was really important for us to preserve what it was, because it never comes back. Once it's gone, it's gone. And we love the original wood and artwork and the story. You know, the original Paul built it himself, and we're the third owners, and we want to keep it going.
Keeping that legacy.
Yeah.
And
the other partner, I mean, my husband and partner is also named Paul, so that's a weird coincidence.
That's a good tie-in right there. So, so maintaining that, keeping that feel for the neighborhood, for the community, for this institution. Now, going from the building side of things, what about the food? Like
Sure. Well, you know, it's our approach to family-style dining, comfort food, a diner. We're doing it in a very contemporary way by using very fresh ingredients and, you know, updating all of the recipes. You know, nothing is store-bought or frozen. So in that sense, it's sort of original, too, because in the 70s, people just cooked food. Right? And we're doing that. We're just cooking food, like potatoes are potatoes.
Yeah, that's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, how important is it to have something like that, like something like this, you know, from the 70s here in the neighborhood, but also it's that same thing when it comes to the food as well?
Yeah, I mean, we love it. We're nestled in a neighborhood with a lot of families and working people, and we just want to be a comfortable neighborhood spot for people to eat yummy, comfortable food and, you know, feel welcome. Our staff is incredibly friendly. We've maintained some of the staff from before. And, you know, the customers that come in recognize those people and feel really, you know, comfortable by the staff, comfortable. You know, we serve meatloaf and pancakes and things like that, and French toast. So, you know, the food is very comforting, and our servers are very welcoming. And we love being part of the neighborhood and, you know, offering that to our guests.
And what's the feeling you want somebody to have when they walk away from here?
You know, warm and fuzzy a little bit, and happy to be here and want to come back. You know, can't wait to come back and try something else on the menu, and, you know, definitely feel welcome. You know, we want to say hi, you know, and know people by their name, and there's a lot of people that has already happened with.
Yeah. What's one of the biggest challenges of of having an establishment right now?
Well, I mean, there's so many. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the things that are people know about, the food cost and the cost of labor, and you know, those things are big challenges. That's real. And you know, taking over a previous business has its challenges too, because some people don't like change. A lot of people welcome change, but there's some people that loved it the way it was, and you know, we can't do anything about that. We aren't the previous owners, so we don't make the food the same way. My husband and I are the owners here, and we're both chefs, 35 years, so our orientation towards our food is very food and chef driven, and so we're going to make the food how we make the food, and it's delicious. But some people don't like that, so that's a little bit of a challenge. You know, we're definitely in the past the early stages of that, where people are really starting to embrace what the new Paul's is, so that's really exciting. And I mean, that's it. You know, the food cost and the cost of labor and the overall cost of doing business, all of it. You know, insurance is more expensive. You know, rent is more expensive. Everything, utilities are crazy. So, but we're here. We're trying to do it. We love it. We want to preserve this beautiful place. This part of the restaurant where we're sitting now was an ice cream parlor before, before Paul changed it into the restaurant. So this part of the building is an ice cream parlor. So you can kind of see this incredible tufting. And that's even older than the 70s, so that's super cool.
I was going to say, yeah, so this even has a history before Paul's.
It does,
this building. So this right here on this corner in Vancouver, Washington. You know how many different generations?
That's right. I mean, we've had people come in and say, I was a kid in the 50s and, you know, and ate ice cream at this counter. And we're like, wow.
Having that story.
So cool.
And maintaining that too. So this is actually from that's from the 50s
that
or
is
whenever
from the 50s,
that was?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's so cool.
To be able to keep that here and have that and still have that feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important to us. We're, you know, we like to think of ourselves as preservationists.
Yeah. Talking about the food side of things.
Yeah.
You know, potatoes are potatoes. You know,
Right.
This is how you. So tell us just a little bit about some of the foods that you have.
Well, we have great breakfast stuff. You know, 4 or 5 incredible omelets that you know, just have a lot of vegetables, and we cure our own meats here. So we make our own ham. We make our own Canadian bacon. That's really fun. We brine and roast our own turkey breast. So we have a club sandwich that has our own, you know, house cured and roasted turkey breast on it. So everything, you know, is I don't know, just really upgraded in that way. Nothing is sort of bought from a package. I mean, the only 2 things we don't make is just regular bacon, but we use a very good quality, and we don't bake the sandwich bread because we just go through too much of it, and we're not a bakery.
Right.
But other than that, you know, we make everything in-house. We have a fantastic pancake recipe. And our French toast is amazing, and our scrambled eggs are even good. We put a little bit of salt in them, which, you know, some people are like, I don't want that, but it makes them taste better. So we do that. We also have incredible burgers. We use a really good quality meat, and it's nearly a half a pound, you know, pre-cooked, and we do a classic cheeseburger. We also have a Paul's burger that has blue cheese, caramelized fennel, and an onion jam.
Oh, wow.
So that's super cool. People are loving that. We do a barbecue burger. We have chili is one of our house soups. We do clam chowder on Fridays and through the weekend. You know, we start Friday and then have it as long as it lasts, and that's been getting rave reviews. So, and then we have an incredible dinner menu. We do like a pot roast short rib. We do roasted chicken. I had that last night. It's incredible. It's like a perfect Sunday dinner. We do meatloaf, also a great family-style Sunday dinner. And for the vegetarian option, we always like to have something vegetarian in this day and age. That's expected. We do a vegetable pot pie with a homemade crust. So, you know, we're just yummy food.
Yeah, it's made me hungry. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
So.
it's real good.
one of the first things you notice when you walk into this room, if you've never been here before, is the decor and like the feel in here. So tell me, what is it that you're going for with this?
This bar was built somewhere between 1970 and 1975, and it was largely untouched. And so when Monique, King, and I came in and saw it, what we wanted to do was ramp up the good things, not make it in any way like a cliche or a trope, but to have it feel like a time capsule, not like a themed 70s bar.
Right, yeah, so it's actually feeling like it was then, not something where you're just like, oh yeah, no, here's a couple of 70s things thrown out.
Right,
like,
exactly.
This actually feels, I mean, the wood paneling,
Exactly.
you know, everything on the wall, which, by the way, where did all these decorations come from?
So the big pieces of stained glass were done by Paul Bell when he came back from Europe when it was opened. And so we used those kind of as our focal point, and then we built things around it. Also, these lamps up here were here, and so we loved the lamps, so Mo went out and found all of these beautiful other lamps and lighting fixtures. Again, I think the whole point of it was to make it feel like stuff had been here forever. Like, there have been people who come in and been like, oh, they left the horns. The horns weren't there. That's perfect. That is our biggest win, is when they're like, oh, the Schlitz is still there. Like, that was not there either, but it feels like it's been here forever. That was the way we were approaching making all of the decisions for what goes in here.
Well, I'm talking about that, people coming in, I mean, it's, you know, this has been a part of the community for 50 plus years, I believe.
It's an institution.
An institution, yeah. So that's, you know, that's a big thing to come in here and be a part of that. But it sounds like that's tying in with the community pretty well. So what is that connection like?
Well, it's an institution. The amount of stories we've heard are just a legion of, this is the first place people got their first drink out in the world. And, you know, they used to come and grab Grandpa because he was always here on a Friday night. And like, the idea again was to approach it with care and understanding that it is such a part of the community, and to not mess it up and to not make it something that it's not. Right,
but also, you know, bring in just a little bit of a different style as well, because I mean, I'm taking a look at the drinks there that are on the back menu. So what went into that cocktail menu?
So again, leaning on that, we didn't want it to feel themey. So it's not like everything has Galliano in it, and everything is 70s-ish. You know, there's no Sex on the Beaches and things like that. You know, we did take some cues from cocktails of the past and then reworked them, made them a little bit more towards the palates of today. But the idea was to not make it feel intrusive.
Yeah.
This is not a mixology bar. We are calling this comfortable craft, where it just feels like a bar. It feels like you're local. It's something you want to come to numerous times a week. It's not that special cocktail mecca. It's just a very comfortable bar that happens to have some really tasty drink.
You know, when it comes to like places like this, like institutions, as you mentioned, because there's a lot of them. I mean, and I'll just say in the Portland metro area, Vancouver, and a lot of them that we've seen go away. Like, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, it feels like that's not any actual math that I'm pulling up or any specific numbers, but it feels that way anyway because of some of those. And keeping something like this as it is, not turned into another building or gone. How important is that for you to maintain something like this for this neighborhood and this community?
It's incredibly important because it is a legacy. It has been here for 50-ish years, and you know, we are at this crossroads where we have all of the people who grew up with it, but also the newer generations want to have that same sort of touchstone to things that have been around forever, that their parents went to and their grandparents went to. And so that leads back to the idea where it is the same place, but it's just a little bit updated. It's not over the top in any way.
That through line is still there.
Exactly.
And still there as you mentioned, you know, that touchstone for the neighborhood and the community. Yeah. Multiple generations can have their own stories of whatever happened here, whatever was going on here. I'm sure some not TV friendly, but you know, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, that's just really, you know, I think that's important for a lot of people to have that.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
We're losing third spaces every day in this society, and having a comfortable bar that you can go into and just have a drink with your friends is of utmost importance.
Right.
And having it attached to a diner that is also family friendly and such, we're calling these two businesses the hospitality mullet, where it's a diner in the front and a bar room in the back. And so we do have the both of best worlds here at Paul's and the Elbow Room.
Yeah, you can have both sides of both experiences all in the same place. Awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.